Wagwa! Right, what I've done, I've drawn a little pencil sketch, and then in this sky there's a little bit of cerulean blue there, and I put a bit of an underpainting on there while I write it. I mainly wanted to get that bit in, then I thought there's a bit in my water and all, so I put all that in there, but mainly I wanted that because there's a bit of cerulean blue in this sky, there's a bit of yellow in this sky, and there's a bit of orange in the sky. And I was worried that I ended up just with a whole load mess of mud in the sky. So I thought I'd put that tiny bit of cerulean blue in and let it dry. So that is what I have done. I wetted my paper with some nice moist water and just painted it in. I can remember back in the day when I didn't pay my water rates and I used to have to lick my paper to get it wet. But now paid my water rates, so I wetted it, put my blue in. Right, so I'm going to get started. So I think I need some. I'm just going on my sky now. I think I need some. I wet up my paper from top to bottom of these hills here. Do it like that. That'll do. I ain't got to be dead careful. I don't think them hills are probably going to be a bit lighter. Right. My only worry is now quite a lot of yellow in it. I don't really want the yellow to go green, but I think it's probably going to do. Oh, the screen's turning off. Right, so let's get in there with that yellow then. I'll go in bottom bit over there and then just blend it up like that. That's nice. Oh, that's lovely. That's sort of what I'm after. And then in the bottom bit, it's sort of quite orange. Just dab my brush in a bit of water. I don't want too much orange. And again, probably a bit more than that. And just blend that up. That's nice. Thinking of trying more yellow back in now though. I don't want that. Just a bit of a line there. I don't want that. Right, that's that, and then on top of all that, to make it a bit more difficult, there's some slight purple clouds, so could do with getting them in with a bit of purple. But same again, I don't want this dripping everywhere. Some purple on my brush, let's have a little go. These are really, really faint. There's one about here. If I one about here, I suppose if I put them slightly higher than where I want them, they'll drip down a bit. Oh, that's not looking bad actually at that. And there's another one about there, and there seems to be one about here, like that, and then a really faint one about there. That's it. I might turn my paper that way. That's it. And then I think quickly before that starts making a nuisance for its head, try to just dry like that. That's weird actually, because that big blob there, what's dripped down there, in my photograph there is like a big patch of orange there, so that's worked out pretty good. Wow, that sky's done pretty much exactly as I wanted it to do. Can't believe it. That way just so it straightens my paper better. I've got to dab that. It's just bending my paper, so I'm thinking if I dry it that way it might work a bit better. I'll go up straight again now. This paper, it's cheap. it's dried a bit crinkly because it's cheap paper, but that's a really nice sky. When that, I put a book on that and straighten all that out, it'll look lovely. But that's perfect sky, what I wanted. I can't believe it's gone right. I just presumed now we're going to bodge this because it's quite a difficult one. It's gone perfect. Right, I'm going to mix in a bit of purple. I think I'm just going to put my purple in for this top bit here. I don't want no hard edges on it, so I've got to sort of keep this paint moving really, like that bit there. I do not want an hard edge on it. I've got to keep it moving. Oh yeah. Although that orange is probably going to give me an hard edge. It's going to be a pain. Not to worry, I'll sort it. So I think if I just keep coming through with this water, and then I'll just put some more purple in a minute. I can go through that bit there, that's not going to matter. That's it, then I'll get a bit more purple in. There we are. Quite strong at the top there. See, it's covering that orange up a bit. It's probably mainly purple and white. There's a lot of white glowing through. Well, not necessarily white. Well, yeah, white is, although I've got that blue underneath, that blue was transparent, so there's white cutting through there. And then even with this purple, there's still a lot of nice white cutting through. You know what, where that orange is, I'm tempted to come in with a bit of orange and just blend it in a tiny bit into that purple, so at least sort of matches. It'll mucky this purple a bit, but I think it might give me a nice combo. Maybe, maybe not. Let's have a look. Paper's sort of got to be careful. This paper don't just disintegrate. Let's get a bit more purple back in again. Tad more purple. It's looking a mess because my paper's crinkling up, but I think when I dry it, it's probably going to look alright. Give me a bit of dimension in there, I think that. A bit of interest in my colours. Yeah, that looks quite interesting. I quite like that. I think what I might do now, literally just pull that colour through, pull it through down here, and in here. It's not going to matter. That bit, that bank's darker. I'll go through all that. A lot. That colour just drip down and do what it wants. It'll probably help build up my layers for my water anyway. There we are, that's nice. A few layers in my water there, like that. Right. Is that enough? Yeah, I think so. Get that dry. Just seen these little orange bits here, so I might just go back in. I found this paper in a cupboard yesterday, and this is my second painting I've done with it. Although it goes dead crinkly, it don't actually disintegrate. You don't get any of them bobbly bits. And I've been working into it quite sort of a lot, but it's not been disintegrating, so it's not actually a bad paper. I'm quite pleased with it. A bit of that. A bit of purple in there and all. Just into there like that. Mix a bit of purple in. And these top bits. screen's doing something weird. What's it doing? Sorted it. And there we are. Thinking a bit more purple in that now. And then I'm thinking plenty of water, because it does go quite transparent towards this bottom bit. So plenty of water in there. I think all I've done actually is move my stain from up there to about there. So purple in there, a bit more in there. Oh, that's it. That's not looking bad though, is it? There we are. And then what I'll do, just blend right across here. And then probably a little bit of purple just back in here. Take that to the bottom again. And just blend that right down into me water again like that. Oh, now I've got a little blob there, look. What the hell? Put some more orange in there to cover that blob. See what I mean? That little line. This is doing my head in there. It's supposed to be relaxing. There. There. This paper's going to disintegrate soon. Oh, now I've put a great line in it. There, look at that. There we are. If you're not stressed now watching this, then you must be a frigging psychopath. Right, dry again. The paper's gone that crinkly, I might struggle with this. Well, I wonder if I can, with this water, I wonder if I can just stretch it back out again now. Just took it away. Well, I don't know why I'm telling you now, you can see it, I just took it away. Right there. Put my clips back on and stretch it. Might help it, I don't know. There, I've stretched it out a bit. Oh yeah, that's a bit better. Right, now then, let's have a look. I think I'm going to want, probably, I think I'm done with this big brush now. I don't know. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. In fact, I keep using it. Right, got some stuff coming in here now, so I think what I'm going to do is soften bottom with this big brush. Comes into, I did have a little sketch line, and I can already see it, to about there. Right, I need some spiky colours. I'll go with some purple again and a bit of orange. I'll mix the two, see if it gives me a nice dirt colour. Yeah, that's quite a dirty colour, I like that. And just go into there like that. And these are just some trees and stuff. I think I can go to about there. Let's see, some higher bits and some lower bits. I think I'm covered after that bit. Right, that looks quite nice, I think. I hope. Put that into there. Is there any reflection in water? No, there isn't. It's all just misty. It goes into a mist. So I'll bring that across as a line there. And then I might even dab a bit of mist in that bottom bit now. It does just go misty. In that bottom bit there, that's nice, right. So now, get some more water and just where's my horizon line? little below it. Just from about, it comes to about there, I think. To about there, perhaps. There's a little line about there. Just try and put that in. That's whiter, so it got. I want my stuff to hit it and then go soft. So same again. Into that purple, into that orange. Just pop that in to purple. There we are. Just try and get it in to there, about like that, something like that. Right, I'm going to get into some burnt umber colours now. Put some of that in, and I reckon it comes through to about there, like that. And then there's some spiky stuff going on in there like that. That's it. And just put some, that's it like that. Blend it in. That's it. Pop that in there. I need to go a bit faster and all, really. Taking up far too much of your time again now. Right, so get a bit of that dark colour. Pop some of that back in. And that should about give me that bank in there then. It's quite distant, there's a lot of mist in there and stuff. So I think what I might try and do is just melt a bit of this dark colour in here and all. Just to get that bit, it's not quite as purple as that. So I'll just melt some of that in like that. That should work pretty well. So have a look. That's better, that looks a little bit more realistic, I think. Right. Tad more in about there. A bit more of this dark colour in about there. Just building it up a bit. That's it. And there is a lot of mist in, so I'll let that end bit be a bit misty there. That'll do. That's not. Oh. Dab that back out. I've just put in. There we are. That's better. Yeah, that looks a bit misty in that. Right, this area here now. So in there, looks like actually there's a bit of sort of light cream colour. So I'll get that in first. So I'll get some, mix up some yellow and some of this light red. This will give me a nice colour. I'll do it. Alright, so some of that comes in here, like that. Just over to them edges there, like that. I do really need to go faster now. Got to be aware of this time because I'm forever taking far too much of your time up. Right, I'll get into here now, get this ground put in properly. I've got some Burnt Umber and a bit of Payne's Grey mixed there at that. Just do shape that one a bit better there, that's it. There we are. That's it. A bit more of this same colour. Burnt Umber, Payne's Grey. Leave the odd little bit of gap in there. It'll look like a bit of light shining in and it'll look quite nice. I think that'll do me for now. Right. Now then. Thinking now, probably a bit green into it. So I'm going to get a load of Burnt Umber put a few blobs of that in on its own. Some Payne's grey, a few blobs of that in on its own. Some of this purple, a few blobs of that in on its own. And then with some green. This is a green, it looks sort of almost black, but it is actually a green, believe it or not. And then just get some sort of a bit more water in that. Let's put some sort of tree shapes in there. On my photo they've got pine trees in here, but it didn't look very nice, and they look too small for a picture, even though it's a photo, and obviously it was right because it's from a photo, but I just thought they don't quite look right. So I've, like saying World's My Lobster, I thought I've just changed, hopefully made them look like bushes instead of pines. So that's about it, but quite drag that down into there. This is like a little bank. I think that'll about done it at that. I could put some little things in. Where's my scratchy brush? I'll put a couple of little things in, something like that. Bit of something there perhaps. Oh, smaller one there, a couple of little blades of grass and stuff. I'll do. When that dries I might put a couple bits on top of that. Right, now then, that's that. Right, I think what I've done now, come to my big brush. Right, I'm going to mix a few things in there. I'll do it with this big brush to make it quicker. Right, so I'm going to get some cerulean blue, I think. Cerulean blue to start with. I've already got a bit of cerulean blue, remember, on the underpainting. And now I'm popping a little bit more in. Let's see how this works. There's quite a rough texture to this water, so I'll give some of that. And then I think as I go back, what I'll probably do with all my colours, as I go back, there's no shadows again. All these paintings I've painted just lately, by coincidence, just none of them's got any shadows underneath out. I think there is a shadow under there. It's misty on my picture, you can hardly tell, but I think I'll put one in. Right, so that sort of mist back there like that, all the way back there, all the way back into there like that. So that's that. There we are. So I'm going to just have another dab into my cerulean and just sort of put a little bit more in like that. There. That'll do me. Now what I might do, I think, come in some purple and cerulean. And just try and probably pop in a little bit of something, what looks like a bit of shadow under there, hopefully. Looks alright, and then probably same up there and all, something just looks like a bit of, not a shadow, sorry, a reflection. A bit of reflection in there, that's it. And then, actually, looking at it, there's a bit of purple in it anyway. I think I'm going to dry that and then come in with some purple. See, it's one of them, on the photo, that water don't match that sky at all, which I normally would say don't sort of do that, always make them match, but I thought I'll just go with flow, see what happens. Hopefully it'll still sit together because there's all these purples in my colours and that, so it probably will still sit together nice as a picture. That's what I'm hoping anyway. But yeah, none of this, none of the really yellows and that are in it. Having said that, I might put them in anyway. Because what it might do, I'll just building it up layer by layer and having a look for now. But what it might do, if I put them in, it might muddy some of these colours up. And at the minute they're looking a bit bright, so rather than muddying it up with just a dark, if I use them same colours, it'll help match it and get it to sit together better. So, but I'll have a look in a minute. See, actually this orange here, there's like an orange glow in there, looks like it's reflecting that. And then this blue here, well, that sky's turning blue. Further up there, that sky would be blue, so that must be what's actually happening in the photograph. This blue is reflected from further up the painting, what I can see. But I'm not bothered what's happening in the photograph. I've just got to make this look nice. Well, I ain't got to, but obviously I want to. There's a couple of big trees in there. I'll put them in a minute. If I put them in while that's drying a bit, there's a couple of big trees. What's that colour on this? It's not a bad colour, that. Just softening my brush down a bit, getting a weaker mix on my spiky brush. That's not bad, because there's a big tree. Say it's about there. Let's pop it about there. There's a big tree about there, like that. Then there's another about there. A smaller one about there. And there's another big one about there. One about there. And then there's two together here. A big one there. And a small one right next to it. That's it. Let's try and soften that in a bit with my finger. And maybe soften it in a bit with this. And my finger, a bit of both. There we are. Nice. Right. Right. So then, I think what I might do, I've got that yellow and orange. Right, I'm going to start blending a few colours now and see if I can get it should start as I blend a few of them sky colours, it should start going a bit of a muddy colour. And to be fair, no, I think it's going to suit me to have that muddy colour. So I'm pouring in this bottom bit yellow into my water. So I got this black here, so in there, this goes muddy, it's still going to suit because it will blend in with that black. And then I think I'll pull it softer as it comes down here, maybe less in as it comes over here. That's that. About there, I sent it a bit green. That's not going to bother me at all. So then, in here, pop in some bits of this orange mixed in with it. There we are. And then as I come down here, a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. Hopefully, give me a bit more of a muddy colour. Make it a bit more muddier. That's it. There, I'm going to dry that and then soften it probably. That's looking pretty nice to me now. I've got quite a few colours blended in that, so it's making it quite interesting looking. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to soften some of this, just in this bit here, just soften it in a bit so it looks more real. This is quite far away, so I can soften this. My paper's just starting to disintegrate a bit there, and to say how much hammer I've given this paper today, it's done well, done right well. That's that. As I come closer, I'll do a bit less softening. When it dries, I'll do them little bits where it's disintegrating, when it dries, I'll just brush them off. That'll be sound. Right, so just under that bit there, I am going to need a tiny bit of purple for I'm going to put a bit of reflection under there. Tiny bit of purple. There, like that. A bit more because it'll dry a bit lighter, so I'll put a bit more in. That's that. Then same on this one as well. A tiny bit of purple just in there. And then on this one, a tiny bit of like that browny blacky colour as well, what's up there. Tiny bit of that and all. Just to show a bit of a reflection in there. That's it, just for a slight reflection in that water. That's it. And then I think I'm going to use that same dark colour. Get a few darks in here and make it look a bit more realistic. So at the minute it's a little bit bright. So mix some of that in. I think I'm going to do it one more dry. There we are, so I've really built this water up now. It's a bit blue in that and all. That's it. I've really built this up now. It's getting it good. Layer upon layer. This bobbliness of this paper's sort of helped me. Look at that. It's helped me get a really nice water effect. Look at that. It's lovely. This bottom bit right down here, not really going to matter, it'll be behind the frame. That's that. Now, get a bit more, slightly more of that greeny colour. Got my spiky brush, I'm going into some green and Payne's grey, and there's still all that green I mixed earlier, with all the purples and a bit of everything in it. I've gone into that, but I've just pulled a bit more of a green into it. There we are. I'm just popping that on top of there, like that, to make them look a bit more like close-up trees, a bit in ground there, like that, some grasses and stuff. That's that. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Where's my little brush? My little bod brush. Some little bods in there. Little bod brush has gone. I'll have to use my rigger brush. Put some little bods in. Here we are. Right. Well, a couple of little bods in all I want, mate. That's Peter and that's Paul. They're out looking for a few worms. I'll put a BD in there. B. D. Or Bertie D. That's it. How dry is it? Not bad. When that's them little flaky bits there, when that's dry, I'll just brush them off. Yeah, that's about it. So you got your bit of water and that in there. It's could a bit of that if you want. Just fiddling a bit now. What do I always say? Don't fiddle unless you're on violin. What am I doing? Fiddling. That'll be softer when it dries and all. Yeah. Just get them little flakes there. There we are, look, them little flakes coming off now, look. Oh well. Yeah, that, same again, that paper's crinkled up because it's really cheap paper. But if you'd rested a heavy book on that and got that to go flat again, that would make it look a lot better. That's what happens when you use cheap paper, but if you're practicing, use cheap paper. So I thought I'd use cheap paper to show you. No, that's no to do with me being tight-fisted. It's no to do with me being tight as a fly's bum. It's got nothing to do with that. I just wanted, if you're beginning, you're better off with cheap stuff, so you're not, if you podge it, you can chuck it in the bin, it's less pressure in it, trying to help you. It's no to do with me being tight-fisted. Anyway, I'm going. See you on the beach. Wah wah.